Now at 5, a Carl Junction family's garage destroyed by an early morning fire. Plus, protesters in Joplin celebrate Labor Day by advocating for workers.
After a crime crackdown in D.C., the Trump administration looks to deploy federal troops to other cities. I'm Dorian Small at the White House with the latest and pushback from blue state leaders.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Emergency crews respond to a 2-alarm fire this morning in Carl Junction. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Samantha Walker. Crews responded to the house fire on Nicholas Lane in North Carl Junction just before 5:15. On scene, responders saw heavy smoke coming from the roof and attic area. The initial investigation suggests the fire originated just outside the garage in a trash can on the side of the house. Crews have not determined what was in the trash can at that time. Everyone made it out of the house safely and without injury. This Labor Day, community members in Joplin used the holiday to protest. Protesters stood at 7th and Rangeline to advocate for workers and everyday citizens over billionaires. They advocate for protection and expansion of Medicaid and Social Security. Organizers say working people built the nation and that, quote, the billionaires' time is up.
We're here to simply let the folks out there know in the event that they're questioning what's happening, going on in this country, in and around Joplin and in this country. If they feel like things are just not right, they're not alone.
Protests like the one held in Joplin took place all across the United States today. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us for a first look at weather.
Well, of course, we had some showers across the region during the morning hours, and then it's turned out to be a pretty good afternoon. A few random showers popping back up once again as we go through the evening hours, and then random showers once again on Tuesday. But temperature is fairly warm Tuesday and Wednesday. Some scattered thunderstorms moving in as we get into Wednesday night. But there's a little upper level wave kind of right on top of us. You can see that kind of counterclockwise spin. There's a couple little showers and thunder showers out to our west, so a few of those guys will try to rotate in a little bit later on this evening, but again, it's going to be very hit and miss like we've seen over the past couple days. Here's 10:30, couple little random showers, and then pretty much gone after midnight for us tonight. But we'll talk about those rain chances for you here in just a bit.
Thanks, Doug. Expectations are growing that Chicago could be the next city to see National Guard troops on its streets. On Labor Day, President Trump took to social media suggesting the Guard is needed in the nation's 3rd largest city to help eliminate crime. The president's comments come just hours after a federal judge blocked the administration from deporting dozens of unaccompanied migrant children back to Guatemala just as their flight was about to take off. Taryn Small reports from the White House.
With the summer unofficially ending,
they're invading American cities.
President Trump's battle with Democratic leaders is heating up.
Bringing troops into a city and a state that don't want those troops, they're crossing a line that hasn't been crossed in my entire lifetime.
After deploying National Guard troops in D.C., the president praised the city's mayor on social media Monday for, quote, working with him and bringing crime down to virtually nothing, urging officials in Chicago and other cities to do the same.
They need someone to help them get the dangerous criminals off their streets.
On Sunday, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed the Trump administration's plans to expand immigration enforcement in Chicago as soon as this week. But the city's mayor has already signed an executive order barring Chicago police from cooperating with federal agents.
We do not want to see families ripped apart.
The Trump administration says it's also considering sending troops to Republican-led cities as part of its crackdown on crime and immigration.
There's a lot of cities that are dealing with crime and violence right now, and so we haven't taken anything off the table.
Sunday, a federal judge blocked part of the administration's deportation plans, issuing an order to temporarily halt the deportation of unaccompanied migrant children to Guatemala as some were sitting on planes ready to take off. Lawyers argued they would be at risk of persecution if they were returned. This uncle of one of the children in Guatemala City says his nephew fled out of desperation and hopes to stay in the U.S. to study. Attorneys for the Trump administration argued the children's relatives requested the reunifications. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
A government lawyer says all 76 children targeted for deportation have been returned to the custody of Health and Human Services as the case plays out in court. The Trump administration has increased efforts to get personal information about tens of millions of voters nationwide. This comes as President Trump asserts a larger federal role in elections ahead of next year's midterms. In recent weeks, the Department of Justice sent state election officials letters seeking unredacted copies of the state's voter registration databases. The information includes voters' names, addresses, and driver license numbers. The DOJ says its goal is to ensure compliance with a federal law requiring states to maintain accurate voter rolls. Well, still ahead, one out of 10 children is diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. But new research suggests young children are being placed on medication for ADHD earlier than recommended. And next in Health Watch, what you need to know about the changes coming this fall to the COVID vaccine.
Don't pay flooring and furniture.
Topping today's Health Watch. Every year in this country, 1 out of 10 children is diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. A new Stanford study out today finds young kids often get medication for the condition soon after diagnosis. That is contrary to guidelines from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Elaine Quano has been looking into this.
A study led by Stanford Medicine examined the health records of nearly 10,000 children under the age of 5 who were diagnosed with ADHD.
ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, is a disorder characterized by difficulty paying attention, or what we call hyperactivity, which is sort of like kids who have a hard time sitting still. They have a lot of energy.
Jamie Howard of the Child Mind Institute specializes in treating anxiety and mood disorders in children. She was not involved in the study.
What do clinical guidelines recommend for treating ADHD in young children? We like to start out with behavioral interventions. We always want to start with the lowest possible harm.
The Stanford study found nearly 70% of those children who were diagnosed were prescribed medications, most often stimulants, such as Ritalin, which can help children focus their attention and regulate their emotions. And the turn to medication came quickly. About 4 in 10 were prescribed drugs within 30 days of diagnosis.
I think that people have an association with ADHD and stimulant medication, but there's actually a lot more than that. And we want to give kids the opportunity to use these other strategies first. And then if they need medication, it can be incredibly helpful for a lot of kids.
The vast majority of the young children diagnosed with ADHD, 77%, were boys.
If you're a parent and your child has been diagnosed with ADHD, what are the questions you should be asking?
What specifically might my child need in order to thrive, even with this condition?
Elaine Quijano, CBS News.
The authors of the study say their findings highlight the need for better guidance and support for families navigating an ADHD diagnosis and urge parents to work closely with doctors to explore all available options. Well, promising signs for a new treatment to help people who haven't been able to lower their blood pressure. A University College London study found a pill called Baxdrostat helped 4 in 10 patients lower their blood pressure to healthy levels. High blood pressure affects more than 1 billion people globally and raises the risk of heart attack, stroke, and death. A national pharmacy has updated its plans for administering COVID-19 vaccine shots this fall. CVS says it won't provide the shots to residents in 3 states, Massachusetts, Nevada, and New Mexico. And for 13 others, the chain's pharmacists can administer the shots with the prescriber's authorized prescription, depending on the patient's age. Those states include Florida, Georgia, New York, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. CVS earlier said its decision was based on the, quote, current regulatory environment. Earlier this week, the Food and Drug Administration approved new COVID-19 shots only for adults ages 65 and older, and for younger people with an increased risk for a severe case of the virus. CVS follows state-level regulations. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, one chain sees a big boom this Labor Day weekend.
Plus, we still have some rain chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, we got more showers across the region. A pretty wet start for us on this Labor Day, but the afternoon has turned out to be pretty good. But additional showers will start to rotate in again late this evening into the overnight hours. We have this upper level wave right on top of us, and you can see this kind of a little bit of a counterclockwise twist on our sat rad. And out to our west, we do have some light showers, light to moderate showers out toward Wichita, and a couple random little thunderstorms. But these guys will kind of rotate in later on tonight. So yes, the evening overall looks pretty good, but we are going to get some scattered showers in here a little bit later on tonight. Couple little showers once you get down toward Table Rock and also Beaver Lake, and then in our far western counties. Besides that, we are pretty quiet at this point in time. You can see the rain from this morning, over an inch at Grand Lake, almost 2, and Veneta over 1. Independence, Joplin about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. So at least we got some rain across the region earlier today. All right, let me take you through time. Here's midnight, still some scattered light showers across the region. As we go into Tuesday morning, we'll have some hit and miss showers, lower 60s. Not as widespread as what we saw today. By the noon hour, mid 70s, and once we get into the afternoon, I think high temps near 80, but again, there's going to be 1 or 2 random little guys across the region. Tomorrow night, we clear out, we drop back upper 50s to near 60, and then Wednesday looks pretty good. We heat up a little bit more. I think high temps into lower 80s, 83 or 84 degrees. Now, Wednesday evening, here's another front. This front is going to slide in, and with it, we'll get some scattered showers and thunderstorms again. Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, into Thursday morning. So we'll start Thursday morning with a few scattered thunderstorms, and then these will shift out of here. This will cool us down a little bit as we go into Thursday. How much rain are we going to get? It's going to be fairly light and scattered, but here's what we'll get over the next 24 hours, and then with our scattered thunderstorms, Wednesday night. So a lot of us still another quarter, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch as we go through the next few days. All right, 64 to start, 74 by noon. High temp of 80 on your Tuesday. It looks good right now. Great shot. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, Tower Cam. We are looking northeast right through downtown Joplin. Through the evening, we slide back into the 60s, back to about 67 later on tonight. Temperatures right now low to mid 70s, so it feels great. You can see this little kink in our upper level flow. That's our little weak upper level wave that is pushing through. This drops south over the next couple days, but look at this big guy. That's going to keep our temperatures in check, upper 70s, lower 80s, late this week and then heading into this weekend. So we continue with the nice stretch of fall-like weather across the region. 80 on your Tuesday, 84 on Wednesday, 79 Thursday. Pair of 80s Friday, Saturday. So all week long we have great temperatures. A little hotter for us next week, but for the first week of September, not too bad.
I have been thoroughly enjoying it. I know today was a little bit dreary, but I kind of love those kind of rainy fall days. So I was like, let me break out the cardigan, embrace this fallness.
There you go.
I know it's not fall yet, but I'm enjoying it. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Doug. Coming up, if you haven't experienced a Buc-ee's, it's a gas station, meets a restaurant, meets a theme park, and it's an event in its own right. We'll take you there. Topping today's Consumer Watch. Most of us are enjoying the end of the last long weekend of summer, but it's going to be one of the busiest days of the year at Buc-ee's. That gas station convenience store chain, found mostly in Texas, but even has a location here in Southwest Missouri, is a must-see for millions of road trippers. Chris Van Cleve looks at how Buc-ee's gets ready for the rush.
As sure as Labor Day marks the final long weekend of the summer, a holiday weekend means a surge of business at Buc-ee's across the country.
Every time we go on a road trip, it's a staple. We have to stop at Buc-ee's.
For pitmaster Randy Pauley, that means overseeing what amounts to about the biggest barbecue in all of Texas.
Fresh brisket on the board.
To feed their 54 locations in 11 states with hot, fresh barbecue 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's not just creating the recipes. It's about making sure each and every day, no matter what store you show up to, it's exactly what we started with, exactly what you remember the last time you were here.
Paulie is currently ranked number 2 in the world for his competitive barbecue brisket. What he didn't tell us was
it's better than a hairnet.
We'd be put to work.
We're going to trim that fat, okay? Because we want a little bit of fat, okay? But we don't want a lot. So now I want you to do an X pattern. That?
What would you say the key to good barbecue is?
Not rushing it. That's the first key, right? Right off the bat, not rushing it.
Fresh sauce on the board.
And then there's the sauce. It acts a bit like glue for a sandwich they know you'll be eating on the go.
We call it dashboard dining, right?
Fresh food at a gas station that has people lining up. Buc-ee's has become a cathedral to the great American road trip. Cheap gas, meticulous bathrooms meets convenience megastore, restaurant, bakery, jerky bar, and Buc-ee's branded boutique, all with the air of a town square.
We consider this a destination experience.
What is the Buc-ee's experience?
A sensory overload.
Richard Sebastian is Buc-ee's head of operations. He says success here comes down to 3 things: friendly, clean, and in stock.
How busy is Labor Day weekend for Buc-ee's?
It's right up there in the top 5 weekends of the calendar year.
If you go by a Buc-ee's, you're stopping?
Oh, yeah.
For the Mandel family,
I'm going to literally let her walk over there.
it's a pit stop to make a memory on the side of the freeway. I'm Chris Van.
The Powerball jackpot has crossed the $1 billion threshold for tonight's drawing after no one matched 6 winning numbers Saturday. That's the 5th largest prize in the game's history. The jackpot has a cash value of close to $500 million. President Trump's so-called reciprocal tariffs remain in place for now, after a federal court ruled on Friday that many of them are illegal. In its decision, the court said the president exceeded his powers under federal economic emergency laws, though the ruling will not take effect until mid-October to allow time for an appeal to the Supreme Court. The Trump administration has vowed to appeal. The president railed against the ruling on social media over the weekend, writing that without tariffs, quote, our country would be completely destroyed. Well, final check of the forecast is next.
Native was part of the 891st Engineer Battalion and earned a Bronze Star. We are proud to salute William Culley, a 4-state hero.
Well, up next on the CBS Evening News, using shipping containers as an oasis in the desert heat. Then on KOAM News at 6, the details on a new law enforcement facility coming to Pittsburgh. Plus, why first responders are emphasizing water safety to parents this Labor Day, and how universities work to keep students safe and informed as swatting calls take place across the country. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and KOAM News at 6. Well, today's dreary weather didn't stop some friendly competition in Joplin. Some disc golf athletes celebrated Labor Day with some casual doubles rounds at McClellan Championship Disc Golf Complex. More than 30 people came out to play, including different groups and teams. One group, called the Trees Nuts, even came out from Springfield to get some plays in.
Disc golf is mostly free, and a lot of folks from different economic backgrounds enjoy disc golf who maybe ball golf isn't approachable for.
At the end of this month, the Joplin Disc Golf Club will host the 20th annual 4 States Open Disc Golf Tournament at McClelland Park.
You ever played?
I have not. I didn't realize how popular disc golf was.
People like it. Yeah.
So that and pickleball, I think, are getting more and more popular. I've done pickleball, and I am better at that than I am tennis, which I think is the point.
Yeah, I think disc golf, you got to be able to really throw a frisbee, and I'm not very good at it. It always curves on me.
I don't have good hand-eye coordination. I think it's my vision, so.
I get it. Well, if you want to get outside, the weather looks pretty good for us. Through the evening hours, we are still going to get some hit-and-miss storms late this evening into the overnight, kind of a pop-up 1 or 2 once again tomorrow into a late Wednesday and early Thursday. But temperatures pretty good all week long.
I mean, yeah, you really can't beat that, you know.
Looks pretty good.
You know, not that 90-degree overwhelming heat that we've been dealing with, so I'm embracing it. So, well, thanks so much, Doug. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll be back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.